Amid the solemn atmosphere of Prince Philip's memorial service at Westminster Abbey, a quiet, heart-softening moment unfolded, one that hinted at a special friendship many may not have noticed, but one that will be deeply missed as royal circumstances continue to shift. Princess Charlotte, just 7 years old at the time, attended the service alongside her parents Prince William and Princess Catherine seated near the front of the Abbey. Directly behind her sat Princess Beatrice, William's cousin, who has long been known for her heartfelt kindness and gentle, empathetic spirit. The service was a powerful reunion of the royal family grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and generations bound not only by duty, but by shared grief. Yet among the choirs, the prayers, and the echoes of hymns there came a fleeting exchange that spoke volumes about the affectionate bond blossoming between Princess Beatrice and young Charlotte. As a hymn filled the vaulted space of the Abbey, Charlotte turned her head slightly, her curious eyes exploring the enormity of the building. In that small, spontaneous moment, her gaze met Beatrice's. The princess who has weathered an undeniably difficult year, her father's controversies titles questioned, and whispers about the York sisters' future homes, responded with the warmest, most exaggerated smile. It was the kind of smile given by someone who remembers what it feels like to be a child, doing one's best in a daunting environment. Charlotte's reaction said everything. Her face lit up, softening into a wide, trusting smile, an unspoken gesture of recognition, comfort, and affection toward her older cousin. It was a moment of innocence and connection inside a family that has been navigating tension, scandal, and public scrutiny. And perhaps that is what made it so touching. It was real, unforced, and deeply human. Royal watchers online immediately seized upon the sweetness of the exchange. Many remembered past glimpses of Beatrice watching over or interacting gently with George and Charlotte at events like Princess Eugenie's wedding. Others noted that Charlotte appears to look up to Beatrice with the kind of admiration that children instinctively reserve for the adults who make them feel safe. This service also offered another reminder of the close-knit bonds among the youngest royals. As Charlotte exited the Abbey with her parents, Zara Tindall pointed her out to Mia, her spirited daughter. Mia enthusiastically waved at Charlotte with the energetic joy only children possess. It was a passing moment, but one that emphasized the loving web of relationships among the Queen's great-grandchildren. Yet among all these interactions, the connection between Beatrice and Charlotte stood apart. Perhaps it was because Beatrice herself is standing at a crossroads, her family name shadowed by scandal, her father removed from public duties, and recent reports suggesting she and Eugenie have been slowly distancing from Royal Lodge as financial pressures mount around Prince Andrew. In a time when the York sisters are grappling with upheaval, their quiet moments with younger relatives feel even more precious. Beatrice's soft smile to Charlotte carried warmth, but also a hint of longing, a desire to hold on to the parts of royal life that remain pure, steady, and untainted. Charlotte's returning smile was one of trust, suggesting a gentle bond forming across generations. It is the kind of subtle relationship built in glances, smiles, and brief moments that royal enthusiasts will sorely miss should circumstances pull the families further apart. As the Queen, frail yet determined, was escorted to her seat by Prince Andrew, the Abbey held the weight of both tradition and transition. But in the quiet corners of that vast space, a little girl and a cousin shared something simple and beautiful. In a family often defined by titles, duties, and headlines, their wordless exchange was a reminder that the heart of the monarchy still beats through human connection, especially the kind that is too delicate, too fleeting, and too genuine to ever be captured in official photographs. And that is why this small, tender moment between Princess Beatrice and Princess Charlotte lingers. It was a glimpse of a special friendship growing quietly in the background, even as the world around them continues to change. Questions have been raised about whether Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie can separate themselves from their parents' connections to the late pedophile. They were once so close they were known as the tripod, but the relationship between Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie and their mother, Sarah Ferguson, has all but collapsed in the wake of the fallout of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal and their father, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor's titles being stripped. We now know that the Andrew, formerly known as Prince, will be living in exile at Sandringham in rural Norfolk, But what if his ex-wife Sarah and their daughters Fergie has to find her own home and income and is reportedly already plotting one of her infamous comebacks amid reports Fergie has hired a high-end brand rescue team to rebuild her reputation and career? This might be a reinvention too far, but more seriously, the fallout from the Jeffrey Epstein scandal may have done permanent damage to her relationship with Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie. Royal sources tell Phil that the happily married mums in their 30s are going to be putting some distance between themselves and their parents. And friends say they are even more disappointed with their mother than their dad. The girls always knew Sarah, however, took them to see Epstein after he was convicted of sex offenses and invited him to Bee's 18th birthday party at Windsor Castle. They were shocked that Fergie wrote to him calling him a supreme friend even after his convictions, and they expected better of her. Eugenie is involved in an anti-slavery charity, and they now need to distance themselves from her. They should know it was money which motivated her, and their names were linked to reportedly dodgy business dealings, including a $1.5 million wedding gift, which it was claimed was for Bee from a businessman, but which Andrew later paid back. It's safe to say the stars have fallen from their eyes, and they are looking back at some of the things they have done with their mother with deep regret. The tripod is no more. Another friend told Phil B., and Eugenie will not want to be seen in public with their parents for some time, and because Eugenie spends a lot of her time in Portugal, she is not seeing much of her sister. They haven't fallen out, but they are leading separate lives and have their own children and careers to think about. Everyone has been under a lot of pressure, and I think they all need a break from it all, added the pal. This is an ideal opportunity to step back from those titles. Those titles were chosen by Andrew and Fergie because of their character, because of their pomposity. I think Beatrice and Eugenie separating themselves from their parents' ethics, morality character would be a good thing in the long run. For a family once so close, it's a sad state of affairs.